Hi, it's Tiffany here from Wax Photo Video, and we're here to try out the brand new Samyang 75 AF Fuji X mount lens. For anyone that's new to the Fuji system or isn't quite sure about the conversion, it's equivalent to around 112, and it's the lightest X mount lens in the world, which is absolutely insane. The 9-blade circular aperture creates for a really beautiful blurred background, and the maximum f1.8 gives you this incredibly smooth and creamy bokeh. So for those of you who are looking for something that works really well in low light, something that maybe you can go out at night time, take some beautiful street photos with and get that stunning depth of field, this is going to be a perfect lens for you. As we mentioned earlier, the price point is insane. So it's just over £400 at the time of us filming this video. It's currently on pre-order, so you should definitely put your name down. One small detail about this lens which doesn't really make a difference in terms of shooting is that it looks beautiful. It's matte black, which I just think is a really nice touch. So it's light, it's quick, it's got beautiful bokeh, and it looks stunning. So let's go meet Bobby and find out some more.
Hiya, I'm Bobby. I'm an independent photographer and filmmaker, and today I'm here with Wax testing out the Samyang 75mm f1.8 lens. So what I see from this lens, first of all, is that it's super light. So I have it on my Fujifilm X-H2S camera. So I'm gonna go out, try it out. We're in London today. It's characteristically grey, but we're gonna try and make it interesting, try and capture some maybe abstract buildings. We're here in a very nice part of sort of east central London. And yeah, we're gonna play around. I've got an ND filter on it today because that's how I usually shoot. I have a more sort of cinematic perspective, and it's a very tight sort of lens, 75mm on this camera. For full frame, it's equivalent to 110, 12 or something like that. So yeah, we just need to kind of make it interesting, especially on a grey day like this. We kind of have to work a bit harder, and yeah, just have fun with it. So let's start. So what I've been noticing with this lens is that like the autofocus is super snappy. Like as soon as I press on the subject and try and focus on it, it really latches on really quickly. And I guess that's both the lens and the camera. Obviously it's the new camera from Fuji, so that works really well. So we're here in Bokeh, which is near Tower Bridge. There's a lot of birds and pigeons, so this camera obviously has subject detection. So I'm gonna try and see if I can get these beautiful pigeons captured and framed in this beautiful lens, and see how it falls as well, how the blur looks. So let's try that out. Yeah, it's really good. Amazing actually. So I'm shooting at f1.8. It's super quick, so that's really great, because I usually use a zoom lens but on my Fuji camera, and I think this is faster. It might be, I guess, the motor that they have inside the lens. Autofocus is good. I like it. I obviously shoot a lot of video, so I try to switch to video mode and see how that works. So another thing that really stood out to me is the autofocus. On my camera, I have it set up to rack focus really slowly, so changing the focus from one subject to another to be nice and slow and smooth, so you know it doesn't look distracting. And that's how I usually like shooting. I tried with this lens, and obviously I have the same settings on, which I would have if I have my Fuji lens on, like a zoom one, but it seems to like snap to the subject when I move the camera immediately. Maybe we'll try and include sort of this quick test where I'm sort of focusing on the plants, and then I'm slowly panning the camera towards the boats, and you can see how it just snaps focus. It's not smooth, it's just like immediately snaps to it, and to me I prefer it to smoothly shift focus back. Yeah, it's really snappy. So it's great for photo. To me, it's not good for video, but hopefully it can be fixed. Another important feature that I think it's worth mentioning is that this apparently is the lightest Fujifilm X mount lens, coming at 257 grams, if I'm not wrong, which, you know, I haven't tested every Fuji lens, but that sounds pretty good, especially if you have it on a camera that's not a big one like that, as the X-H2S. If you have it on a smaller one like an X-T3, X-T4, you've got a really decent package, especially for a focal length like this, 75mm. You would expect the lens to be quite heavy as you kind of go into these sort of telephoto ranges, but it's really great that it's so light and that it packs autofocus, and that the autofocus is actually good and it's really fast and very silent. You can't hear any of it. It's just like, it's like almost like moving like magic or something. So that's pretty cool. So obviously something unique about this is the focal length. It is 75mm, so it's a bit longer than most Fuji lenses, especially the prime ones. So now that we're sort of on the busy streets of a sort of touristy part of London, I find it quite fun to try and shoot some street photography, you know, try and capture some people, because it's a 1.8 75mm, you really get the separation between the subject, the background and the foreground, so you can really kind of focus. If you see someone interesting, you know, dressed in a fun way or in a stylish way, I think it really helps for street photography. So that's definitely a cool feature of this focal length. Alright, so we are in the city of London and we have the infamous Gherkin behind me. So one of the main things that we wanted to focus on today is architecture using this sort of unique focal length where it's not wide but it's actually really close up. So around here in the city we have a lot of tall buildings, a lot of skyscrapers, and a lot of them do have sort of repetitive features like the windows, and just the whole structures are, you know, quite repetitive. So using a lens like that, we can really focus on the repetition, and it can kind of make things quite abstract. So that's what I'm seeing when I'm using this lens, that I can kind of really focus on fine details around the buildings and kind of play with those, you know, play with the repetition and try and create something a little bit different, maybe something that you wouldn't see normally or you wouldn't focus on because you don't have that point of view. So we find ourselves on a rooftop in London, in central London. So we've gone through Wapping, we went to Tower Bridge, Tower of London, into the city, and now we're sort of above the city. I'm not sure if the sun's gonna come out today, it's quite shy, but yeah, we're gonna try and get some nice vantage points. We have Tower Bridge over there, and we've got the Shard over there, and the walkie-talkie behind me. And yeah, we'll just kind of have more fun with it. It's been great today, so thanks for joining us. Point that we should touch on upon is the sort of the bokeh that this lens produces. So I'm going to try and frame, I've been trying to find a subject that is suitable for that. But I found a little bike over here and there's some nice fairy lights behind it. So let's see how the bokeh looks when we try and focus on the subject, and how the background sort of melts. We'll try and overlay this on the video, just so you can see how things look when it's really, really blurry. So thank you for joining us for this review. We tried out the Samyang 75mm f1.8. It's a brand new lens for the Fuji X mount. Had a lot of fun trying it out today. We did a lot of subjects. We went all across sort of central London, around the city, and the old parts around Tower Bridge. It was really nice to test the lens, see that it's really fast in its autofocus. It was quite good for video as well, but in video, it can focus a bit too quickly or too bit harshly, but maybe that can be updated. But all in all, it's really fun. It's great for architecture because you can really focus on like the details, especially around these parts. And we tried a bit of street photography, just some people passing by, and that was quite fun because you can really separate the subject. So all in all, really cool lens, super light. And yeah, thanks for joining us. Cheers.